All right.
Hey, Luis. My name is Donovan. I'm here to help you guide you through our session today. Before we get started, let me share with you some helpful information that I'll read, and I'll make sure that we cover some basic questions that you may have and make your session with us fun and clear for you. Thank you, first of all, for participating with our group. With your help, we hope to gain better insight into our design, and your participation is very much appreciated. Today, we'll be testing our application to help children like you and adults like your teachers or mom, and they'll help us better understand our application. I'd like to remind you that we're testing our site and design and not you. Any input you have or anything you say is welcome and encouraged here. Everything you say is considered great. So in fact, this is the one place today where all your ideas are great and you don't have to worry about making any mistakes. As you use our site today, I'll be asking questions that you may feel a little evident or obvious, and we'd like for you to think out loud and say anything that you think or anything that comes up in your head, including how you feel, what you may have expected next, or even if something feels clunky or if it's not clear. Remember, this is your session, and anything you say today is great help for us. More importantly, don't worry about hurting our feelings or saying something wrong. We're not judging you. This is a judge-free zone, and we'd love to hear your honest reactions to help our design improve. Let me introduce you to our assistant, Violeta. She's going to be here helping us, and she will be assisting us today by changing the slides and the prototypes that we have. Our buddy, Will here, and Juan, will be taking notes on our simulation, and with the help of our fourth team member, they'll also be observing the interaction and recording our session. You may notice that Juan is using his phone to record our conversation so that we may clarify any future questions even after today. With your mom's help and permission, we're going to record what happens during our sessions, but our recording will only be the paper and your hands maybe, but not your face. So for now, don't pay attention to them, and try to imagine that you're simply speaking to me and my team members, and we're simply here to observe you. At the end, we all may have questions for you. If you have any questions as we continue along, just ask them. I will try my best to answer them, but if I can't answer them right away, I'll let you know. Since the main idea today is to have you, the user, use our application, and we're only interested in your input. If you still have any questions, doubts, or concerns, you can let me know at any time. Also, if you need to take a break at any point, please let me know. Your perspective would be very helpful in helping us figure out what works and what doesn't. So I encourage you to think out loud and be blunt about it too. For example, say what you're thinking, what you like, what you don't like, what you're thinking, anything that comes to mind. If you would, I'm going to ask you and your mom to sign a permission form for us to use, and this will only be used for our internal use by me and my team members. No one outside of us will review your answers, so don't worry about your answers. So if you could sign that, and your mom is going to sign that. Great. All right. So to make sure I don't miss anything, I'll have a script by me, which is what I'm reading right now. So before we begin, do you have any questions?
No.
Okay, cool. All right, let's get started. Before we begin our application testing, I'm going to ask you a couple of easy and quick questions just to get you a little familiarized. Can you tell me your first name?
Luis.
All right, Luis. All right, what do you like reading?
Books that were mostly mystery.
Oh, okay, that's great. Do you own a computer?
Yes.
A laptop?
No.
Oh, no laptop. Okay. And do you own a smartphone?
Yes.
Okay. And let me see, what do you like reading besides mystery? What other type of books?
Mm,
Like mm, long books, short books, mystery, scary books?
chapter books.
Oh, okay, that's cool. Okay. What's your favorite book, by the way?
Diary of a Wimpy Kid.
Oh, okay. That's a good one. Okay, great. See, that was short and easy, right? It was just you answering questions and I'm asking, and then we're just gonna take notes and see what your answers are. Now that we're warmed up, let's get started on the questions for the application. Okay, so I'm gonna introduce the first persona. A persona is just a person. We're gonna pretend, okay? So imagine that you're the first persona. You're a little boy named Willie, and he's just like you. He's 11 years old. And he has a great time, and he's funny, I'm sure, like you are in class. And he's good at sports and loves to make people laugh. Last semester, however, Willie fell behind in reading and writing, and his mom thought it would be a great idea to find an application to help him better read. So this is the application we're going to be using today, okay? So let's get started. Okay, so the first thing that Violeta's gonna put in front of you, it's gonna be our landing page. So give me some thoughts and ideas about this first page. What do you think about it?
It is telling you if you need to sign in or create an account.
Okay, is it clear for you? Is there anything that you don't like, that you do like?
And no.
Yeah, it's pretty obvious to you because I'm sure you used applications like this before. Okay, so let's get started. Let's pretend you're going to log in. Okay, so you press the login button. And this tells us that we're now in the learning application login. So let's have you log in. What would be the next step that you think?
To write your username and password.
Okay, so do it with your finger or it's okay, even if it doesn't write, we'll pretend like it's writing. In the application, it should come up right. Okay, so what would be the next step after you do that?
Login.
Okay. And so we have an error. It says your username or password does not exist, which is correct because we haven't created one. So what would be your next thought? Okay, great. So we press the OK button and it takes you back into our first login. So now that we know that you can't log in, what would be the next step?
Creating an
There
account.
you go. Okay, great. So we land on the create an account. Now this is the second task. So we're gonna create an account. So how would you go about this? So we're gonna create your account and go ahead. Yeah. So you write your first name and your last name. And do you have an email address?
No.
Okay. So let's pretend that you do have an email address. We'll use your email address. This will help us better understand our application. Okay, great. So now you created your account. So which button would you push? Great. So we submit it. Great. So now we're back to your created account. So let's log in. Great. So now we're going to actually be able to log in because now we're at the learning application. How does that make you feel, by the way? Was that easy? Was that hard?
Easy.
It was easy. Okay, great. By the way, what's your overall impression of the design and the colors of the application?
I liked it.
Oh yeah? It's pretty like easy and simple and functional? Okay, great. So now we're gonna log in and use the username that you created a couple seconds ago. Great, okay, so we're logging in and now we're on third and final task, which is we land on the learning application. From the profile page, click on assignment and find the book Manny and the Dinosaur and click on it. Okay, this page, by the way, I'll tell you a little bit about it. This page functions interactively by clicking on the text as you read along. Every time you click on the upcoming word, it will record the data. So we're gonna go and look at the assignment or the book called The Dinosaur. Danny and the Dinosaur. Great. So as I was saying before, every time you click on an upcoming word, it will record the data. Can you read the first page for me, please? Starting at the red arrow and finishing by clicking the end assignment. So as you read, it'll record it for you.
Daddy went to camp for the summer.
Okay, so you touch and then it records it. So touch every letter or word and it'll read it.
Danny went to camp for the summer. He
Great.
took along his friend, the dinosaur.
Oh, okay, great. See how fun that was? Okay. By the way, how did this interaction make you feel? Was it easy? Was it fun? Was it simple enough?
It was simple enough.
Okay, great. Was it easy to follow along with your finger?
Yes.
Okay. What are some of the things that you like about this page?
It tells you all the data that you have read and what you haven't read.
Oh, okay, great. And what would you want to add to this page to make it maybe feel better for you and make it flow better? Would you make it like smaller or bigger? Would you have it maybe float more? Or do you like it that it's flatter?
I like it.
Yeah? Okay, great. Do you have any questions for me now that we're done with this portion of the application?
No.
Okay, any other thoughts and ideas before we continue?
No.
Okay, great. So now my team is going to ask you some questions about your experience with our application. And for this portion, we're done. And I want to thank you for my part for helping us with your participation. And now my team members are going to ask you maybe a couple of questions about your experience. Okay? We'll start with Will.
Hey, Luis.
Hi.
How's it going?
Good.
So, what was one of the most memorable pages you saw? Like, what do you remember right now? What page do you remember?
Logging in,
Logging in? Why?
because not you have to remember your information.
Good. Yeah, that's a good thing.
Now, when you were reading that page, our assignments page, did you feel like you were reading at your own pace, or did slower or quicker? you touching the word slowing you down and how fast you could read, or you think you could keep going at the same pace that you're used to reading?
I could keep on going at the same pace.
So you could click faster, as fast as you could read?
Yeah.
Okay. So you didn't feel like you had to read slower because you were clicking on everything?
No.
And the colors. Tell me about the colors. The buttons, do they stand out?
Yes.
Okay, good. Anything else that you would like to add? What would you like to see? What kind of stories would you want to read? Like anything at all that you could say about an app. If you had to design your own app, what would you add that we haven't added here today?
I had the option to find any books.
Oh, that's a good one.
Okay. Any else? You wouldn't want like some sort of reading games on there, or like Facebook connected to it, or
No.
little Minecraft account? None of that?
No.
Great. Let me see. Do you have any questions?
I do. In school, Luis, does your teacher use any electronics to help you read? Like another application or a computer?
Yeah.
What other electronic tools do they make you read?
You can read from our Chromebooks.
Oh, Chromebooks. Okay, so you have experience working with electronics. Like for example, this page that we're looking on, is the letters too big or too small for you?
No.
Okay. Do you like the pictures on each page? On pages, like an illustration?
Yes.
I have no other questions. Feel like I have no pages.
Let's see. Maybe with some of our other pages on the. So you said that you like the login page, I believe, or that was you remember that one, right? Okay.
So for each page, was everything clear? Like what steps to do? Like what to do? Like if we didn't ask you or we weren't here, if for every page you knew what to do. Like the instructions were clear. Like where you have to go, where you have to click,
Yeah.
or there was something that kind of was confusing to you.
No.
Oh, by the way, you mentioned that you have, I think, a computer and you have a smartphone, so you know you're really good at using those. Did it look like something maybe you've used before too? Like it looked similar, so at least you knew how to navigate it from submit to login to create an account?
Yeah.
Oh, great. Okay, so it's very intuitive then. Is there anything maybe that you're thinking, oh, this application didn't have that?
Finding the books.
Oh, okay. So is it similar maybe to that one page we had of finding the books? Was it maybe something like this where you could have had something a little more bigger, smaller, or do you think that this was clear enough, assignments, or we should have called it books or something?
Probably books.
Okay.
I have besides the getting more books, is there another feature that you would like to have seen in there, or?
Having tests after you read a
Oh.
book.
Oh, okay.
That's a good
That's
one.
a good one. Thanks.
Okay, so test, and what do you think the test would have? That they would have something that you were reading?
Yeah, like the book you just read.
Oh, that's a good point. Okay, so maybe we'll note down, that's what we're noting down right now, to maybe have little mini quizzes, right? Or little tests of the things that you read before.
And a link to a dictionary.
Oh, that's a good idea. A link to a dictionary. That's a really good idea, because I'm sure there's a couple words that maybe you don't know, and since you're learning with our application, that would be a good idea to have a link to a dictionary. Okay, well, we want to thank you very much for our participation. You're awesome, you're great, and everything that that you told us we're going to take into consideration and integrate that into our application. Thanks, buddy.